Public Eye News, 2 UP universities announced new leaders, and the situation in Syria continues to unravel with Russian accusations that the chemical attack was staged by the UK.
Later in the show, we will take a look at the weekend weather forecast, and Ryan Gooch has a preview of Hawaiian Night for tonight's NMU lacrosse matchup against Davenport. Hi, I'm Charlie Edwards.
And I'm Samantha Carter. Welcome to Public Eye News. This morning, Michigan Technological University's Board of Trustees unanimously voted to appoint Dr. Richard J. Kubek as the school's new president. Kubek announced obtained his bachelor's degree from Oral Roberts University and Northeastern Illinois University in Biblical Literature and Psychology, and his master's and PhD in Industrial Engineering from Purdue University. The public is welcome to attend a reception in the Opie Reading Room at the Van Pelt and Opie Library from 3 to 5 p.m. today. And Michigan Tech isn't the only college with a newly appointed administrator. Lake Superior State University has named Lynn G. Gillette as its next president. Gillette will assume his role as provost effective July 1st. And Gillette has obtained a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Richmond and has a doctorate in economics from Texas A&M University. He is also a graduate of Harvard University's Management Development Program.
20-year-old Alex Wheatonen pleaded guilty to charges of malicious destruction of a memorial or tomb on Thursday after vandalizing the statue of Phil Niemisto 3 months ago. As part of a plea agreement, Wheatonen's larceny charge has been dropped. A jury trial was originally scheduled to begin on April 17th, but Wheatonen is now scheduled to be sentenced on June 28th. 4 people have been arrested in connection to a meth dump site in the town of Kingsford. 25-year-old Amber Laundrie is charged with operating or maintaining a lab involving hazardous waste, soliciting another to obtain pseudoephedrine, and habitual offender, second offense. 27-year-old Samantha Matson is charged with operating or maintaining a meth lab, soliciting another to obtain pseudoephedrine, and habitual offender, second offense. 54-year-old Robert Anderson is charged with operating and maintaining a meth lab, purchase and possession of pseudoephedrine to make meth, and habitual offender, fourth offense. 44-year-old Tracy Anderson is charged with operating and maintaining a meth lab and purchase and possession of pseudoephedrine to make meth. The 4 suspects will be arraigned in Dickinson County Circuit Court on Monday.
Despite rumors that Northern Michigan University plans to purchase UP Health System Marquette facilities after it moves locations, NMU representatives have stated they have no interest in purchasing any of the buildings or the parking facility. In the future, NMU plans to continue to concentrate on their ongoing projects, such as the $20 million renovation of the University Center and the construction of their new dorms, the Woods. However, due to the building's proximity to campus, NMU's administration is looking forward to having a positive relationship with whoever does own the building next. And an iconic piece of Michigan architecture is up for auction, but taking it home would be a difficult endeavor. Sections of the Mackinac Bridge's original steel grating are going on the auction block, but be careful lifting them. Each section is approximately 5.5 feet wide, 38 feet long, and weighs 2 tons. If that's just a bit too big for you, the Bridge Authority says it will cut the section into 2 shorter pieces if a buyer wants, and will load them for transportation. And after the break, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Next time on Austin City Limits.
Whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself because I love you. Oh, Mexico, now I guess I'll have to go now.
Saturday night at 11 after Under the Radar on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. The United Kingdom has been accused by Russia of staging a fake chemical attack in the Syrian town of Doma last weekend. A day before a team from the International Chemical Weapons Watchdog was to arrive in Doma, Russian Defense Military spokesman Major General Igor Konashenkov is making claims that images of victims of the purported attack were fakes staged with Britain's direct involvement without providing any evidence. Britain's UN ambassador calls Russian military assertion that the UK staged a chemical attack in Syria is, quote, a blatant lie, end quote. President Trump is responding this morning to harsh criticism from James Comey. The fired FBI director didn't hold back in his new book about the assessment of his former boss. The Associated Press and other sources are reporting the details. John Schumo has more from New York.
President Trump fired back Friday morning at former FBI Director James Comey, whose new book paints the president in a harsh light. The president tweeted, "James Comey is a proven leaker and liar. Virtually everyone in Washington thought he should be fired for the terrible job he did. He is a weak and untruthful slimeball." In his new book, A Higher Loyalty, the former FBI director blasts the president as untethered to truth and goes on to say his leadership is ego-driven and about personal loyalty. Comey previously questioned the president's honesty during his testimony before Congress.
I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting, and so I thought it really important to document.
Comey recalls briefing the Trump team before the inauguration on the allegations contained in the then unsubstantiated dossier on Russian interference in the election. Comey writes, they were about to lead a country that had been attacked by a foreign adversary, yet they had no questions about what the future Russian threat might be. Instead, Comey writes, they launched into a strategy session about how to spin what we just told them to the public.
Mr. Comey has a revisionist view of history and seems like a disgruntled ex-employee. After all, he was fired.
The Republican National Committee, set to launch an aggressive response to the book, just unveiled a new website called LionComey.com. It disputes many of Comey's claims. John Schumo, CBS News, New York.
Federal investigators say they forced Tesla out of a probe of a deadly crash in California. A driver using the electric car maker's autopilot system died after crashing into a highway barrier last month. The NTSB said yesterday that Tesla released information about the investigation before it was confirmed. Gayle King took a ride with Tesla CEO Elon Musk in a Tesla Model 3 to discuss and experience the autopilot system.
You've got this, beautiful, glass roof. Put a lot of effort into the roof so that it's got infrared coatings and ultraviolet coatings. Effectively, it's like a really good pair of sunglasses.
Yeah. Tesla Model 3 stands out for its sleek, minimalistic design, but it's one of the automaker's key features.
Oh my God, this is so creeping me out, though. So you're not turning, the car's turning.
Right.
That's getting renewed attention, the autopilot system. The function aids driving tasks like staying within a lane, but it is not supposed to replace a human driver.
We can't expect people, you see how it's like warning us?
Yeah, why did it do that?
Because my hands are not on the wheel.
Well, what's the purpose of having autopilot if you still have to put your hands on the wheel, Elon?
Oh, because the probability of an accident with autopilot is just less.
Less likely, but not impossible. Federal investigators are looking into last month's deadly crash in California involving a Model X operating in autopilot mode.
Was there a defect with the system?
The system worked as described, which is that it's a hands-on system. It is not a self-driving system.
A week after the accident, Tesla announced that the driver had received several visual and one audible hands-on warning earlier in the drive, and the driver's hands were not detected on the wheel for 6 seconds prior to the collision. Releasing that information drew criticism from federal officials doing their own investigation.
You do know that you ticked off the National Transportation Safety Board by releasing the results before the investigation was completed. Why did you do that?
Well, it's actually, we've always released the results.
Are you on autopilot now?
Yes, currently on autopilot. The NTSB take a long time to complete an investigation. They'll take a year. So I said, look, we can't wait for a year to release information. That's way too long.
Too long, especially for a company under such intense public scrutiny.
But it's important to emphasize it will never be perfect.
Autopilot will never be perfect.
No. I mean, nothing in the real world is perfect. But I do think that long-term it can reduce accidents by a factor of 10. So there are 10 fewer fatalities and tragedies and serious injuries. And that's a really huge difference.
And after the break, Charlie Edwards will have your weather and Ryan Gooch will have sports. Stay tuned.
This week on Media Meet, chronic fatigue syndrome is a pathological condition affecting 2.5 million Americans and 30 million people worldwide, but it's still poorly understood. I'm Bill Hart here with Mining Journal staff writer Christy Bleck. We'll discuss CFS with family medicine physician Scott Dowdy and CFS patient and activist Kelly Parks. All about CFS this week on WNMU's Media Meet.
Saturday night at 6:30 and Sunday afternoon at 2:30 on Public TV 13.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Charlie Evers, and this is a look at your local weather forecast. As you can see behind me, it is very cloudy outside, so make sure you throw on a jacket before heading outdoors. Taking a look at our current conditions, it is cloudy with the temperature at 31. Winds come from the north-northeast at 13 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure is 30.06 and rising. Tonight, it will be also cloudy with a low of 22, and winds come from the north-northeast at 21 miles an hour. And tomorrow, it will be cloudy with a high of 27, winds come from the northeast at 26 miles an hour. Taking a look across the UP, it is cloudy all across the UP, but with varying temperatures. In Sault Ste. Marie, it is 38 degrees. In Manistee, it is 38 degrees. In Escanaba, it is 40 degrees. And in Menominee, it is 35 degrees. In Iron Mountain, it is 40 degrees. In Ironwood, it is 38 degrees. Up in the Keweenaw and Houghton, it is 39 degrees. And back here in Marquette, it is still cloudy and 31 degrees. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Sunday, there will be a high 27, low 24, and snow. Monday, high 32, low 23, and snow. Tuesday, high 35, low 24, and cloudy. So Ryan, looks like all this cold weather is really putting a damper on our spring fever, but I hear that things will be heating up tonight at a certain sporting event.
Yeah, things are definitely going to get exciting tonight. The Northern Michigan University women's lacrosse team will face Davenport tonight at home. The Wildcats played the Panthers earlier this season, but a strong late run from Davenport denied the Wildcat victory. Going into the game, the Wildcats lead the GLIAC by shooting 52.5 this season. The game tonight will also feature Hawaiian Night. All people attending the game are encouraged to wear their best Hawaiian shirts and grass skirts. Anyone wearing Hawaiian gear will receive free Hawaiian Punch from the Hawaiian Punch Garden and will be able to buy one ticket and get one free. The game will be at the Superior Dome tonight at 7:30. And Des Bryant's run with the Dallas Cowboys has come to an end after the team released him earlier today. Bryant met with owner Jerry Jones, who gave him the news of his release personally. Bryant joined the team when he was drafted in 2010, and all the staff and faculty have the utmost respect for him as a player. And regarding Bryant's departure, Jones said, quote, "As an organization, we hold Des Bryant in the highest regard, and we are grateful for his passion, spirit, and contributions to this team for the past 8 years. He will always be a valued member of our family," end quote. He also said the decision was not easy, and it was made with the best interest of the Cowboys in mind. And leave it to Tottenham and Harry Kane to teach people everywhere that you can always get what you want. Striker Kane has been chasing winger Mo Salah all season for the Golden Boot, and after Kane was out with an injury for about a month, Salah pulled ahead in the race going into the weekend with 29 goals this season and Kane with 24. Spurs played Stoke on Saturday, and Christian Eriksen carried the team through with a brace. However, after the game, Kane claimed the second goal had brushed off his shoulder before going into the net in a desperate attempt to catch Salah, despite the ball not making any change of direction. Then the next day, Tottenham actually appealed to the FA to get the goal given to Kane, and a few days later the goal was awarded to him, effectively taking a goal away from his teammate. Even after this, Mo Salah still leads the Golden Boot race 29 goals to 25. And that's all the time we have for you today. Join us back here on Monday.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.